Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another exciting action figure review. Today we're looking at the Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka Tano. Very cool packaging here. The Black Series went with a nice subdued packaging feature here. It has the air of something a little bit nicer than it actually is, but they still did a really good job with the packaging here. Flip it over to the back, you've got just a generic bio for the character and a whole lot of the other stuff that comes along with, warning, don't put this in your mouth, not for people under 3 years of age, etc., etc., etc. This is from the Disney line. Some nice character art in the nice kind of black and gray. Other than that, pretty straightforward. So this figure is essentially a re-release of the original vintage line collection of Star Wars. So the Ahsoka Tano from that line is extremely hard to get. I've seen it go anywhere up to, well, actually over $100 for the particular carded figure. And I'm not willing to pay that, even though it's a cool figure. So I found this actually at Walmart one day and knew I had to go ahead and pick it up because I've been looking for this particular character for a while. But again, did not want to pay the prices that they ask for the original vintage line version. So we got the figure. We've got a couple of accessories here. We can slice them out. So we've got two lightsabers in their unactivated state, and then the same two lightsabers in their activated states. Which is really cool when you think about it. You get both versions, so you can do action-oriented and non-action oriented. And we'll go ahead and zoom in now and take a closer look. So now that we're zoomed in, we can take a closer look at these figures. We'll start out by looking at the lightsabers. We'll start out with the little bitty one here, if we can get it to focus in here. It's got a nice little peg on the back of it, so you can attach it to Ahsoka's belt here. Nice detail work on that thing. Moving on to the slightly larger one. Again, they got some nice detail work on this thing. And again, you do have the little peg in the side of the hilt itself to attach it to her belt. So very cool there. The activated lightsaber versions, these things look really cool. They got this nice green translucent color here to them. Works really well for the character. This one is a little bit bent here. That's just the way it came in the packaging, and so you can heat it up a little bit, warm it up, and kind of get it to bend back into shape. But that's really the only bad thing about the way they package these things, is that it does have a tendency to kind of warp in transit. Same thing for the larger lightsaber. Very nice look. This one's a little bit straighter than the other one, but still a slight bend in it. Nice detail work. It's a lightsaber though, so if you've seen one of these lightsabers, you pretty much saw all of them, but still it's nice. So let's move on to the figure itself. Again, it is pretty much a straight up repackage of the vintage line release, so there's nothing really new here if you've got one already. But since I don't have it, we're going to go through the review anyways. We've got some nice detail work going on in the figure itself. Real good paint apps. The skirt itself is made of cloth here, and then it's got the plastic on the belt part. Nice pouches on her belt. Nice little silver highlights all the way around. Same thing with her arm straps. Some really nice detail work going on here. Articulation wise, the head does move 360 degrees. Her appendages, whatever you want to call these things, do limit articulation a little bit, so you can't really turn it all the way around without kind of moving things around and kind of shoving. But it does rotate And you've got a little bit of up and down movement, not a whole lot, but a little bit. Again, that little thing there kind of stops it from looking up. And if we can zoom in here enough and get the light on it just right, if you'll notice, she is wearing a necklace. It's a nice little detail there. Again, the detail work on her leather vest, I guess that's what that is, looks really cool. It's got a nice kind of distressed leather look going on. It really works well for this particular character. Shoulder articulation is the ball and swivel, so plenty of articulation there. There is a swivel, a hinge joint at the elbow, and also it does articulate with a swivel there as well, so you can get it to go pretty much anywhere you need to. There's also a swivel joint at the top of her gloves here, which serves as her hand articulation, so there's no more actual articulation at the hand, but you get it at the mid forearm kind of point there. So you still get pretty much any movement you want to out of that, you're able to get there, so pretty nice there. You do have a twist joint here at the waist. Moving on to the actual hip joints. We unfortunately do only have front and back rotation. There's no side rotation on those at all, which is a little bit limiting, but not too bad. And I'll point out that her little skirt thing doesn't really limit articulation. It's seems like it does a little bit, but we really still have full articulation there, so no worries there whatsoever. You do have a swivel joint at the top of the knee, and then you do have a knee joint, and then the boots at the bottom, swivel and rocker. So you get pretty much all the articulation you're looking for out of that one. And actually, it doesn't look like it's actually a rocker. If it is, it's just really tight in there, and the top of the boots kind of limit that a little bit, but not too badly. Again, I'll point out the nice little detail work that they put in here on the bottom of her boots. The little buckles there in gold. Looks really nice. So, yeah, that's about all we've got for this particular figure. Again, it's a nice figure. It looks really good. I'm not too crazy about the proportions on this particular figure, and in general, all of the female characters tend to have really scrawny arms, and this is no exception here. It's not that big of a deal. It really doesn't detract that much, but just something I'll point out is not something I'm too crazy about, but it kind of happens in most of these lines that we get. As far as the accessories go, on her belt you do have two peg holes, one on each side, made exclusively for her lightsaber hilts. So they just plug in here, if I can get it to line up. And they just snap in place like that. Again, these things are pretty small. So someone like me with really big hands can be a little bit difficult, but bear with me for a second. I'll get it in a minute. There we go. The good thing about that is that once you actually get it in there, it is going to stay in place. You don't have to worry about it slipping out or falling out. It's in there very nice and secure. The other lightsabers fit in her hands very easily. Just kind of slide in there. So you can do dual lightsaber wielding. Some nice stuff going on there. Looks pretty cool. So you have the option of taking off the unactivated lightsaber hilts and just going with the activated ones, or if you want to pretend like she's just on a regular mission, you can take away the activated lightsabers and just use the unactivated ones. So, very cool figure. Nice to see that the company itself saw that a lot of people were looking for the figure itself and were not really satisfied with the extra prices on the older vintage line release. And with her role in the Star Wars Rebels cartoon, it's nice to see them kind of coming back and getting this character a little bit more playtime. So, very cool. All in all, it's a highly recommended figure. If you can find it, pick it up. Shouldn't be too expensive right now, but like most of the Black series, it's kind of hard to find in stores. But keep your eye out and you should be able to get it for retail price anyways. So, at least for a little while. That's pretty much all the time we have for today, so thanks for watching. Drop us some comments down below. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and keep looking out for cool toys.